feels more like something straight out of a Cold War thriller than it's happening right now, in 2026. The CIA drops a Mandarin language recruitment video aimed directly at Chinese soldiers on its YouTube channel, which has got 1.6 million views on YouTube. It's polished, emotional, cinematic. It tells the story of a fictional PLA officer who becomes disillusioned with his leaders and decides to secretly contact us intelligence, thereby preventing a war to protect his country and the world. And this isn't random timing. It comes right after serious turmoil inside China's military, the People's Liberation Army, following corruption investigations into some of the highest-ranking generals in the country. Another recruitment video, published 9 months ago and also in Mandarin, has received 16 million views as of today. So what's going on here? Is this just psychological warfare? Is the Chinese army really unstable? Is Washington trying to rebuild an intelligence network it once lost? And how dangerous is this kind of public recruitment in 2026? Hi everyone, welcome back to DFTW, a channel to see the world from a unique perspective. We publish videos regularly, and viewers can watch all our videos on YouTube by following the link in the descriptions and pinned comments. Today we talk about a viral video that sparked something on the web. On February 13, 2026, the CIA published a Mandarin language video titled "The Reason for Stepping Forward, to Save the Future." It shows a fictional Chinese military officer watching speeches, standing in formation, staring at a map of China. But inside, he's conflicted. The voiceover says, "This is the world I know, defending the homeland and protecting the people." But day after day, the truth becomes increasingly obvious. What leaders are really protecting is their own self-interest. Later, he says, "I could not let their madness be a part of my daughter's future." It's dramatic. It's personal. It's not subtle. The video implies corruption, selfish leadership, and moral decay at the top of the Chinese army. And it frames cooperation with the CIA as an act of conscience. Now here's what's important. It wasn't a one-off. According to CIA Director John Ratcliffe, this is the 5th Mandarin language recruitment video the agency has released since October 2024. Ratcliffe says the campaign had reached many Chinese citizens, even though YouTube is officially blocked in China. Of course, we all know that plenty of people in China use VPNs and other tools to access blocked sites. Especially educated urban users. Especially those in sensitive institutions. So this isn't about reaching the masses. It's about reaching the right people. Why now? Timing matters. Last month, Chinese leader Xi Jinping, who is also chairman of the Central Military Commission and commander-in-chief of the armed forces, placed one of his highest-ranking generals under investigation for suspected corruption. The name that shocked observers is Zhang Youxia, one of Xi Jinping's closest friends since childhood. He was also long considered one of Xi's closest military allies. His removal stunned Western intelligence agencies. It suggested that even top loyalists weren't safe. Another senior military figure, Liu Zhenli, was also investigated. And this wasn't isolated. Over the past several years, multiple senior defense officials have been removed. Former Defense Minister Li Shangfu disappeared from public view in 2023 and was later removed from office amid corruption probes. Senior officers from the rocket force were replaced. Procurement officials were investigated. Xi Jinping described the anti-corruption campaign as revolutionary tempering. He publicly acknowledged turmoil in the Chinese Liberation Army, saying the PLA had undergone major cleansing but remained loyal and dependable. But when you see this many top-level removals, especially in the military, it sends signals. Signals internally, about fear and loyalty. Signals externally, about instability. And that's where the CIA moves in. Let's be clear. It is psychological warfare. The CIA is openly telling Chinese officers, if you feel disillusioned, if you feel your leaders are corrupt, if you worry about your family's future, talk to us and work with us. That's bold. Historically, intelligence recruitment is quiet, discreet, private. But this is public messaging. It's strategic signaling. The CIA is betting that turmoil at the top creates doubt further down the ranks. And doubt is fertile ground for recruitment. The message isn't aimed at random soldiers. It's aimed at officers with access to sensitive information, technologists inside strategic programs, and people who feel sidelined or politically vulnerable. Especially in an environment where anti-corruption campaigns can double as loyalty tests. When senior officials disappear, mid-level officers start asking questions. Am I safe? Who's next? Whom do I trust? And intelligence agencies look for exactly that moment. China's response is firm. Its foreign ministry spokesperson Lin Jian responded sharply. He said China would take all necessary measures to combat infiltration and sabotage activities of anti-China forces resolutely. From Beijing's perspective, this isn't clever advertising. It's interference. And there's historical trauma here. Between 2010 and 2012, China reportedly dismantled much of the CIA's human intelligence network inside the country. According to reporting by the New York Times, more than a dozen CIA sources were killed or imprisoned. One source was allegedly executed in front of colleagues outside a government building as a warning. That episode was devastating for U.S. intelligence. It reportedly took years for the CIA to rebuild even partial human assets inside China. So this new recruitment push suggests something important. Washington believes it needs better human intelligence inside the PLA. And it may believe it is a moment of vulnerability now. The broader context of this drama is the US-China intelligence competition. Remember, we're not in the 1980s anymore. It is not the Cold War between the US and the Soviet Union. More dramatically, Trump is going to Beijing in 2 months to meet his best friend. Either the CIA is not listening to Donald Trump, or the latter is directing the show. Either way, the intelligence rivalry between Washington and Beijing is even more complex. The US sees China as its primary strategic competitor, economically, technologically, and militarily. To some extent, China is more horrifying than the former Soviet Union. At the same time, China sees US intelligence activity as part of a broader containment strategy. Over the past few years, tensions have escalated over Taiwan, semiconductor export controls, AI and quantum technology, South China Sea military activity, cyber operations, sanctions and trade restrictions, to name a few. And espionage is always happening in the background. In 2023, the US shot down a Chinese high-altitude balloon it described as a surveillance platform. China said it was a civilian weather balloon. That incident temporarily froze high-level diplomatic contacts. Meanwhile, the FBI has repeatedly warned about Chinese industrial espionage inside the United States. China, in turn, has accused US intelligence of cyber intrusions and infiltration attempts. That is a full-spectrum intelligence rivalry. And now it's out in the open on YouTube. Why is it public recruitment? It is the fascinating part. By publicly saying, "We are recruiting," the CIA sends multiple messages. To China, "We are watching your instability." To potential recruits, "You are not alone." To US allies, "We are actively countering China." It's also about narrative. The video frames China's anti-corruption campaign as a purge of moral decay at the top. But Beijing frames it as moral cleansing. Same event. Opposite narratives. And intelligence services understand that information warfare is part of modern geopolitics. Now let's zoom out. Is the PLA actually unstable? That depends on how you define instability. Xi Jinping has conducted anti-corruption campaigns since taking power in 2012. Hundreds of thousands of officials across party, state, and military systems have been disciplined. In the military, corruption has historically been a serious issue. Some analysts argue that the campaigns strengthen Xi Jinping's control, while others argue that constant purges create fear. there's another layer. Xi has been pushing major PLA modernization, including expanding naval power, advancing missile capabilities, building up nuclear forces, and integrating AI and advanced technologies into warfare. Modernization requires discipline and loyalty. Corruption undermines readiness. Part of this may genuinely be institutional reform. But when top generals close to Xi Jinping are investigated, it signals that loyalty alone isn't enough, or that internal political struggles are deeper than outsiders see. That's exactly the kind of ambiguity intelligence agencies exploit. One more layer here is technology. The CIA knows YouTube is blocked in China. But it also knows VPN usage exists. More importantly, videos get mirrored, downloaded, shared, and discussed on private channels. Even if only a small fraction of PLA officers see it, that's enough. In response, Chinese netizens created AI-generated parody videos mocking US society, referencing Wall Street elites and American political chaos. The release of the Epstein files has driven the whole world crazy, not just in China. So now we have dueling propaganda videos. That's modern intelligence competition. Not just spies in dark alleys. However, this kind of public recruitment carries risks. If Beijing interprets it as an escalation, it could respond with increased counterintelligence crackdowns, public trials of alleged spies, cyber retaliation, diplomatic protests, and arrests of US-linked contacts. Espionage usually operates in the shadows because public exposure raises the stakes. When it becomes visible, political leaders may feel pressured to respond visibly. And that can spiral. Here's the deeper question. Why does the CIA need more PLA insiders right now? Possible answers are here, but they are not exhaustive. The US wants to understand China's internal political stability. The Pentagon needs to assess Beijing's military readiness. Washington is gauging intentions toward Taiwan. The US Army is monitoring nuclear modernization. And more importantly, the Trump administration wants to evaluate the impact of corruption on the command structure. If tensions over Taiwan were ever to escalate, US policymakers would desperately want accurate insight into PLA internal dynamics. Human intelligence remains irreplaceable, even in the age of satellites and cyber surveillance. You can see missiles from space. You can't see doubt in a general's mind from orbit. It isn't about one video. It's about a long strategic competition. The US and China are navigating what many analysts call a structural rivalry. Not necessarily war, but sustained competition across military power, technology, finance, alliances, and information space. The CIA recruitment campaign is just one small but symbolic piece of that larger puzzle. It signals confidence from Washington, or at least a willingness to test pressure points. It signals vigilance from Beijing. And it shows that in 2026, great power competition isn't abstract. It's personal. It's emotional. And it's aimed at individuals inside institutions. Is the PLA collapsing? No. Is it undergoing turbulence? Clearly. Is the CIA exploiting that turbulence? Absolutely. Does this mean a new Cold War? Not exactly. But it does mean that intelligence warfare is no longer hidden. It's public. It's digital. And it's psychological. The recruitment video isn't just about spies. It's about narrative. It's about planting seeds of doubt. It's about telling a story to Chinese soldiers, to American audiences, to the world about where power and legitimacy really lie. And in a rivalry this big, even stories matter, let alone lies. Because sometimes the most powerful weapon isn't a missile. It's a doubt. And right now, both Washington and Beijing are trying to shape who doubts whom. That's the real battlefield.